They agreed that the one who first succeeded in making the traveller take his cloak off should be considered stronger than the other. Then the north wind blew as hard as he could, but the more he blew, the more closely did the traveller fold his cloak around him.
All I knew was this, for the first decade of my life, this tremendous relief from my family. And people come around saying, lovely flatbed, oh, you are lucky.
And the horse he'd go off round the alleyways to the various people, and the horse would just walk a bit further down the road and stop again, and so on, you know. And he ended up down here in the afternoon, the last call.
Oh, put a heap of straw in and shook it all up and watered it, and then drawed out these bundles and took it up on a fork.
I only followed that through for 1 12 and I took to a stable of horses. Of course, that improves the wages. We had 12 shillings a week then, and a cottage to live with at work.
And that was better beer. That was halfpenny beer, see? And it was brewed at Kennet. Well, around here, because there's big breweries, Kennet. They used to brew some beautiful beer.
And they were big blokes in them days. No, you wouldn't get in Bristol Police for under 6 foot.
Then it was rinsed in the big square sink, and then you went out the yard and you mangled it, and then it went up on the line.
You're covered in mud and muck.
Oh, we've been for a good old stank.
Or a stank.
Good old stank. And yeah. That is Cornish. Stank. Yeah. A tough walk. That was a good old stank, wasn't it? Yeah. A braille stank.
And then sometimes the weeds were pulled out by hand. There used to be carlicks, which looked very much like mustard seed, but that was a weed. The carlick used to be pulled by hand.
Where you going? I said, I'll come to the further side. He said, what do you mean further side? I said, I don't know. I said, Mo don't know far, I don't think. I come away one day, I said, my granny, I said, oh.
When Dad brought stalk of Brussels sprouts home, he trimmed them up on the garden, and they would weigh £7.
One thing I always call it, is it time for victuals, mate? I always call it victuals. That's maybe on in my way, but if we're two of them, I say to my brother, we better go for some victuals, mate, and off we go for the dinner, like.
Mind you, I don't know whether there's be any truth in it, to tell you the truth, because nobody ever took interest, and of course I suppose anybody with a good head.
I thought that's great. Of course he said, oi, up it, you know. Well, I upped it by taking about 2 paces back. And then I sat there and I watched this bloke as he assembled his drum kit, you see. And I spent the whole rest of the night watching this drummer.
If I want to go up Hanley Park or anything like that, get a milk bottle, she's saying, she'd shove this white stuff in it and shake it up. And there you go with this bottle of pop and a beetroot sandwich.
Things started to change, you see, and the bus was going up to Aberystwyth twice a week, and some people started to go down on the bus to Machynlleth to do their bit of shopping, isn't it?
When they're boiled, then they've got to be peeled. So on the table they go, depending on the size of your catch, which could in them days be anything from £10 to £150 in weight. The hours mounted up, you see. You might get back home at, say, 7 in the morning.
I can't forget one man lower down in I told you we lived in one of the old houses. Well, on the other corner where the other end was, there was a man who was down the docks and he was working there, and I just can't think of his name now.
I mean, you literally have them eating out of your hand, pigeons. Like, you see them in Piccadilly and places like that where people have fed them and they're all over them. But this is actually being able to pick them up without them flying off.
You tame your bucket into its sile. It's a strainer, his sile. You sit on a little 3-leg steel and get your head stuck into the hard cool side. By God, it was a grand job on a frosty morning.
I got a hint there, Alec, when the Gulliver got a glyph and caught the chumming.
Why should he? I mean, how are you going to catch up?
Money
you didn't get paid if you didn't catch up.
I always love all that. I mean, I love
stronger you stay. I mean, them days you didn't live with lasses. If a bloke was gone with a lass and they weren't married, she had a bad name, you know, and everybody looked down on people like that.
Which is a shame. I think it's a place for the old-fashioned type of pub, you know. And I mean, the ones like the last one we were in, the market, it's been renovated. It really is nice. It's open plan, beautiful, really is, and they do a lot of catering.
Use our Macca talk, our Cumberland crack, because once it's gone, it'll never come back. Use it gay often, as much as you like, or it'll just get away like snow for day.
Had this the horse and gate, and we had a big Clydesdale cuddy, a big Clydesdale horse.
I've had strides, but that comes from advertising. I know it comes from advertising, and yeah, I just use trousers or jeans. Most people wear jeans.
There's people could say that better than I could, of course. I produced the thing, and I know people have enjoyed it. And as far as I'm concerned, if people enjoy something that I'm doing or I've done, then that is a reward in its own. And it seems as though I have a talent, as you say.
Now this is National Golf Month, and if there's no exciting enough for all they followers of the wee white ball, the Irish Open is for the Royal County Down Golf Club, starting on the 28th.
Education isn't a man, you know, that's just it. They think they're better now, you won't get them there, or they all want past jobs now, they won't get them to work on anything like we work when we were young.